What's going on, everybody? Hope you are ready for another podcast. We're going to talk about the new fusion. We're going to be talking about a rebalance of some relics and a guaranteed Packmaster Shayak for people who missed the fusion. But how guaranteed is it going to be? We're going to find out today. Hope you guys are getting ready. Just give us a minute here and we'll be live.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
1. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Knights of Teleria podcast. This is episode number 99, guys. We are one episode away for our 100th episode. I am excited. Let's go. We got a lot of things to talk about today. We got to talk about a balance to one of the most broken relics in the game. We got to talk about the new Packmaster Fusion companion. We waited, what? I want to say almost 2 years, a year and a half. It's been a very, very long time. And we're going to be talking about the guaranteed Packmaster coming in as well. And it's supposed to be for everybody, but will it be? We're going to break all that down and hopefully have a fun time doing it. But before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about my co-host for today's podcast in the top red, giving us a free-to-play perspective content creator. Should also add he's a $13.97 content creator, free to play. Mr. Final Campachi. Ken, what's going on, brother? How are you?
Doing good, man. Besides like some IRL stuff, like there's lots of wildfire unfortunately happening in Turkey, and I hate that. And we lost like too many. I mean, not too many, like 2 legends today, like Ozzy and Hollywood Hogan. I know people like don't like Hogan recently because the stuff he said, but like. He was on my like childhood, like years ago. I'm old. Like I was watching his WWE stuff like that. And yeah, good memories, I guess. Rest in peace. Yeah.
Yeah. Two crazy legends, man. Household names, Ozzy Osbourne and Hollywood Hulk Hogan are gone, taken from us. Now, I remember when I was a kid, I used to actually collect like the WWF cards. And I had a Hollywood Hulk Hogan one. It was one of my cherished possessions. But yeah, man, both of them, Uh, it's tough. It gets you guys thinking when your childhood heroes, people you used to watch when you were like 6 or 7, pass away, and now you're just like, what the hell? You feel kind of empty,
Is that
right?
Toast, bro? What is this? Is that Toast, bro?
That's Hulk Hogan. Getting
That's
cupped.
Toast, bro.
Oh
Bro,
my
that's
God.
Toast, bro.
Dude, that doesn't look correct.
That does not. Next up, giving us a live arena perspective from the top 100, Mr. Gestel Gaming. Gestel, what is going on, brother? How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I feel like I bought one of 2 6-star souls this week. I got Fabian's 6 stars. I thought that was I had a chance to get Arbiter, and I'd kind of been using Arbiter as like a 3rd booster. But I passed on that, and I don't know. I feel like I've been using Fabian like an insane amount, especially to counter Marius. So I went for it. I feel like you get it like twice a year, right? It's like impossible to get a 6-star. So pretty fired up about it.
I gotta say, man, Marius is my number 1 pick, and then Fabian is my 2nd pick.
Yeah, it's pretty much where I've been. That's pretty much where
he
I've been.
is, and if I go up against them because I know he's just cancer, I don't even bother with Armands anymore. I just let him go. But Fabian, I've got to lock him out. I got to get him out. I can't. If I don't have him, I'm not giving him to you. So I agree, man. I can't wait to get my 6-star. Next up, giving us an endgame low spend perspective, Mr. MXPJE. PJ, what's going on, brother? How are you?
Doing good. Watched a little bit of UFC last night, or yesterday. I should say yesterday during the day, because it was Abu Dhabi time, so it was a little bit different. So I was pretty good, and then been grinding a lot of Godforge. Alpha's out right now. I've been really enjoying it. Been playing that on stream. But yeah, excited to be here talk about Raid with you guys. Episode 99, which is very exciting. Big 100 next time is awesome.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got something to show you guys too next week, so I hope you guys are ready. Next up, the guy that I'm still waiting to have his name change from King Copium to Copium King. We've got King Copium. King, what's going on, brother? How are you?
What's going on, guys? What's up, chat? I'm doing all right, man. Just shuffling around these accounts. Did some rebuilds with free regear this past weekend. Pushed Arbiter into 2nd and made Eostrid my number 1 booster on the account. So just, chipping away, trying to get these wins, trying to push up, get further and further into Gold Live Arena. Doing what we do.
Nice, nice. That was a good call on making your Estrid your turn meter booster your fastest. I made mine, and I was debating between Arbiter and her, and I landed on her, not because I have a +2 and I got her just a little more speed, but she's so much better. I feel like so much better than Arbiter, even though you don't get the revive. And last but not least, all the way from Texas, the Dab Master himself, Mr. Zero Brew.
Woo! As I come in with a Ric Flair, because he's next. With speaking of wrestlers, yeah, it was a weird week, right? So we had Malcolm Jamar Warner on Monday, Ozzy on Tuesday. I streamed on Tuesday night, and I was like, these things happen in 3. Who's next? And of course, it was the great Hollywood Hulk Hogan. Wow. Yeah, sorry, mic filter saved us. Oh yeah, sorry, I did mic filters on. Good call, Ken. Yeah, it's been a weird week. Yeah, absolutely. But excited about the show this week. Really excited about the show next week. And that's about all I got for you.
All right. All right. Before we get into the fusion and all that, I want to talk a little bit about the Titus and some of the plays testing you guys might have done, because this is the 2nd week that Titus has been available for us, and we're now starting to see the teams coming in. My question to you guys real quick is going to be, and chat, this comes to you. Are you noticing that everybody is running their Titus team, and all of a sudden people are 2-3 billion again and not complaining about Trunda anymore? Ken, I'm going to throw that off to you first.
Yeah, I'm not really checking the clay stuff like that. I don't have a time for it, but in my chat, everybody's showing, hey bro, look at my new PB, look at, even they are sending me a picture of 2 billion damage on the Columbus, normal Columbus, they just love to share it, And yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Plarium thinking. I don't know what's going to happen. So we are waiting, I guess.
Again, I think that this was their answer to say, you know what, you guys can shut your mouths. We don't need to hear about you complaining anymore about Trenda. So here you guys go. King, what about you?
I mean, I'm seeing some Titus teams out there, and I've had some people in my chat when I'm doing my thing talk about it. But for the most part, in the circle that I'm in, we're all kind of just holding back because we're trying to get the teams built up. And for clashes and stuff, I'm seeing people are still kind of running the teams they already had going, but it's definitely on the back burner and coming to the forefront. And I'm seeing him kind of everywhere.
Yeah, I'm reading chat here. I'm your 80 says everybody gets a Trenda basically, right? Which kind of feels true right now. Zero, what about you?
Yeah, I built him out because I went for the soul for old Grachos or whatever, and I got sniped, of course, at like 4 a.m. for me. So
Okay.
it is what it is. But yeah, I haven't really built him out. I built him. I haven't tried him out yet, so I let the big brains kind of figure all that stuff out. I'm still one to kind of hold on to that. This dude hits so insane that they're probably going to nerf him, even though they said that they quote unquote weren't. I know we got some nerfs to talk about today too when the game is broken, but maybe you're right. Maybe they said, hey, everybody gets one. But again, everybody got one with the whole Wixwell and Emic and all that stuff, and that got quickly addressed too. So
Right.
I don't know. We'll see. I think it's silly that they just like unleash like insane power creep like this and give it to everyone. You know.
So here's my
Go ahead.
thing about the whole Wixwell and Yanniga. I felt like that was, and this is my assumption of why Plarium nerfed it so quickly or nerfed it at all, is because it was way too free to play friendly, right? This guy is still semi free to play friendly. He's a Void champion. And I will tell you, it's really not that hard to get him to work, right? For anybody out there that is actually using Wixwell with him, if you have Brogni, I will tell you, swap that guy out and put in Brogni and watch your damage just spike faster.
Really?
Yeah, so I ran it with Brogni, and I kind of half-assed it at like 1 a.m. I'll show you my team here real quick, right? So I
thought
ran it with
Wixwell is. I go use both of them too.
Well, so I did use both of them, right? And here's what happened. He got devoured, right? After he got devoured, trying to regrow the shield, Brogni, and I do have a 6-star crushing rend on him, but Brogni will grow the shield a lot faster.
Oh yeah.
So you can start
it's because
pumping
of this
damage
damage.
back up.
Yeah.
Exactly. So this was the team that I was using, and in Wixwell, like the damage, it got there, but it took time to ramp it up. With Brogni, you know, you've got, if you, I put a cat's gaze on him. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't do a showcase on the team because the team to try to get the composition is kind of tough, or you know, the gear and stuff. But remember, you do have your Great Hall area bonuses, so all that makes it so much faster to grow the shield as opposed to extending the buffs, right? And then you can kind of slide in, like I'm actually planning on taking Lamasu and Wixwell out, and putting in either another buff extender and somebody who, you know, does a better job at doing an all-team cooldown. So, PJ, what about you?
Yeah, I've seen Titus being used a bunch. I built him out, used him on for hard. Went pretty good. The thing is, like, he's still, at least compared to like the top end Trunda, he's still like nothing compared to that. So
I think, I don't know. I
we saw
last
70 million yesterday, or last time
Trunda's
for
still
Trunda.
number one on the Hydra. But Trunda
Yes,
is
on
pretty much
Hydra.
useless on the Chimera, so.
For Hydra, yeah.
I mean, I know Bronco last week, they're like an 11 billion key, and basically...
Dude, we saw 60 billion yesterday. What are we talking about?
I hear you, but it's only a matter of time until we find that perfect composition for him, right? Although it is noted, it should be noted that because the shield can only get to a certain amount, which I believe is 1 million, the damage will be capped on how much you can do. So you got to depend a little bit more on, decrease defense, ignore defense, and other stat boosts to boot or damage multipliers to be boosted. But yeah. Sorry, anything else you wanted to add, PJ?
No, that's it.
Yeah, Sus was with me in Discord last night. We were just hanging out, and we tried both Wixwell and Brogni. And the moment we tried with Brogni, the shield was just like 3 times the size. And I was like, yep, nope, he's the one that I'm going to go with. Gissel, what about you?
Well, I actually been trying to build them for Chimera. I know it's probably not going to be like a huge trial team, but I feel like with being a void affinity and like a true damage dealer, or not like a enemy max HP damage dealer, it's a pretty viable option there. And I've been trying to do it like cheese comp, double Yumi. I just haven't been able to work it out yet. But I haven't tried Brogni with Wixwell, so I've actually been thinking about that. So maybe I'll try that tonight.
Yeah, I'm
I don't know.
telling you, that shield's gonna get
just
massive
bring the
quick.
deeps, whatever,
Yeah.
man. Let me bring the deeps. Like if I could clear that bottom row, the 8 billion or whatever on 1 key with the Titus, that'd be pretty dope for
Right.
the clash. But just for funsies, I threw it into my Demon Lord with the double Yumi because I kind of had everything all speed tuned already, and it first shot did 2.4 billion. So that was kind of fun.
Damn.
I'm like, I'm all at Reaver.
You can kind of see here, like, so this team did 2.1 billion 6 multiplier, right? Granted, he's got Crushing Rend on it, but the team composition is not really crazy. You got Andra coming in with the increased resistance and buff extension, Wixwell with the same thing. So I don't know, man. And no reviver. So if you die, you're SOL'd, which is kind of tough. But on Ultra Nightmare, he did 1.9 billion. So this right here is just absolutely insane on the what's going to happen. So I want to lead it out to the guys, like, hey, be careful with the investment you put into him. You're going to see a lot of the teams going out, and I'm going to be giving this warning every single week until either they just flat out say, you know what, guys, we're never going to touch it, or I can turn around to them and say, I told you so, you were going to do this, right? But yeah, just be, just do minimal investment. That said, have you guys used them anywhere else in the game, like siege defense or anything like that? Ken?
No, not yet. I didn't build them yet, to be honest.
Okay.
Because
King?
I don't have a Vixwell and... Oh.
No, sorry. You don't have a Wixwell.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking it's going to be that great with the Brogni. And also, I don't want to invest on him. I have a plan to build him for the Bannerlord, but didn't get the time yet. Factual.
Okay. King, what about you?
So I'm kind of just in the experiment stage right now. I built him, but I'm trying to get it Hydra team to work out. It's almost there. I'm just really lacking in a couple of sets that I would prefer to have optimal damage. I am going to be using him in Faction Wars. And then I also have a Brogni sitting at level 50 that I've kind of been iffy about, do I need to take him to 60? But I think the answer has been answered for me now. So I'll be pulling him out, and then I should hopefully be seeing some pretty nice numbers coming to me soon.
Okay. Zero, what about you?
Yep, nope. I haven't used him at all yet. Again, like people have been saying, anticipating some changes. So I'm hesitant to really do it. Although I did book him, but we'll see.
I mean, just the one shield, just the one extension of the shield, and we're already almost at 70% HP bar with Brogni. So, and that was without increased attack either.
How do you get Brogni built?
Brogni is like 250 speed, pure damage. He's
Savage?
in Merciless and Cruel. 6-piece Merciless and Cruel. But yeah, he's absolutely insane. Gessel, what about you? Have you used them anywhere else?
No, just like I said, I don't really necessarily care too much about Hydra. Maybe I should start caring a little bit more, but I didn't mess with them at Hydra at all. Just like the Chimera team, like I said, and the Demon Lord. If I don't really like how this works out, or it doesn't really work out kind of how I'm hoping, maybe I'll look to do a speed team in the dungeon. Like, isn't he one shot in every dungeon boss? So maybe he'd be good. Maybe that'd be a good place for him ultimately if I can't find somewhere else for him.
Okay.
It's a lot of setup from what I've seen. I mean, like the videos, the Bronco video was super awesome, but they're not.
Oh, it takes a while to run it. It's not like a speed run.
Yeah.
No, it's not a speed run.
Oh, well, he might be in the vault. He might be in the vault soon. Then that sucks.
Listen, I will say for Hydra, he's phenomenal. I mean, my run took me, I think, almost an hour and like 15 minutes yesterday, and it was definitely. I'm like, Jesus, when is this gonna end? I'm doing like 1 billion damage already by like turn 100, and I'm just kind of at that point, I just kind of fell asleep, and I'm just like, okay, I'm like half awake. PJ, what about you?
Yeah, just so far, just in Hydra. Really haven't messed around with him anywhere else.
Okay. Gangster Gummy Bear. Every time you're losing the shield, I think your problem on it might be is that you have Titus too fast. You don't want to build him with crazy speed. You're looking to like 200 to 225 ish. You really don't want to have too much speed on him. And I'm actually debating bringing or putting him down in lower speed, right? So again, we'll have to wait and see if they do anything, but it is going to be quite crazy, and I expect, could this possibly lead us to complain more about the matchups between Hydra Clash and Chimera Clash? I think we're going to be having that discussion pretty soon. But with that said, let's start off first of all with the Relic rebalance. So we're going to get this out because I feel like this was you're either on the side that says, hell yeah, this was good, or you're on the side that says, shit, I got this, now you're nerfing it, right? So the following review data usage for the player's feedback were determined that the Crown of Corruption Relic provides an excessive speed boost, making it overpowered in the current state of the game. To improve the balance of the player base and experience, especially when facing opponents equipped with the crown, it will be rebalanced and aligned with other relics in the same rarity regarding the speed increase coming up in patch 10.6, which, if I'm not mistaken, should be going live tomorrow because that's when the fusion starts. Below, you can see the rebalances of the crown and what it will look like afterwards. So basically, currently, what we get is crit damage, I believe, defense and HP. So they're basically putting for the substats speed as the first one, crit damage, and HP. Now, the big change is going to be on how it works. So it currently works as, let's bring it up here. Sorry, guys. Damn it. I don't want collection. Relic index. There we go.
First one.
Third one, he says. Okay, there we go. The wearer deals 5% more damage and receives 5% speed when above 50%. And then when below 50% HP, deals 25% less damage and loses 15% speed.
You can also check the info button over there to see the upgrade.
So the upgrade, it gives us 10% extra speed. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is just based on their base speed, right? So whatever it is.
It's
so
it's on all speed.
It's on all speed. Okay.
All speed,
That's
which
why
is
it's
what made it.
broken.
That's why it's broken. It's on all speed, and basically, if you got this, even at like level 4 or 5, it's like having a second speed boot. It'd give you like 45% speed if you were starting out with like 400. Yeah, that's why it got nerfed.
Okay. Well, that explains it a lot more. Because, see, I didn't get it, so I haven't tested it. And I was like, oh, whatever. It seems pretty balanced because what they're basically changing is the RNG element of this. But I had real Bick, I need you back, brother. You got to break these down for me again. If anybody out there has seen Bick, tell him I'm looking for him. Okay, so that makes perfect sense then that why this would get changed. Even though it is a mythical relic and it's supposed to be, that crazy, I do see
So
now
broken.
why it's so broken. So basically what they're going to be switching into it now is while you have 50% HP, you'll deal 5% more damage. The damage boost multipliers are staying up, and receive less damage as opposed to speed. And then if you have less than 50% HP, then you take 25% more damage. You deal 25% more less damage, and then receive 15% more damage. I like this part right here. The owners of the Rebalance Crown of Corruption Relic will receive 640 Starstone Dust in the next couple of days if they're unhappy with it. Plarium, I'm going to put this out here. You nerfed this, you're giving them a chance not to reset the relic, but at least unequip it. There is no reason going forward that if you nerf a specific champion, you can't give us our resources back because we see you're doing it right here. That said,
and Blazin, the best part is if you wanted to swap relics with someone that already
That's
has one
not gonna be
equipped,
enough.
it's not going to be enough. So it's like
Yeah.
900 plus to swap it.
Yeah. That said, let me throw it to Ken first. Ken, I mean, you do a lot of live arena. You go up against some of these guys that have it, like Crypto. What are your thoughts on it?
I mean, like, Crypto doesn't need this relics faster than me, to be honest. Yeah, I'm a go second play style. Like my speed is already terrible, so everybody like I'm facing on the live arena or the normal arena are starting faster than me. So this really doesn't bother me. I also don't have these relics. Basically, I really don't care what they are doing it. But
Okay.
there is some things it's bother me.
Okay.
So is there like somebody magically put these relics in the game without letting the player know? Like
Well,
they have no idea.
I think
like
we've confirmed that there's only one person that codes. And so, communication isn't really there.
I mean, they know the stat this relic give, right? They should be aware what kind of speed player will receive, right? And they give permission to release it. And they also sell these relics during the event period, which is you can only craft these relics during the event period. After this event is over, Chaos Awakens, until it's reopened again, which is I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. You cannot craft it anymore, right? It's exclusive relics.
Yep.
And surprisingly, after we are coming end of the Chaos Awakens, you are like, hey guys, we decided to nerf it. Sorry. Like, hello? Like, nobody going to talk about that? Nobody going to talk about the people who spent crazy amount of the money or the resources to try to get that relics because it's a broken. Yep. They are right to get it. It's a broken. And the player is like, take your 640 Starstone, shut the fuck up. Like, really?
Yeah. I think that's a valid point. I was just saying because I made mention of this news in a video on YouTube, and one of the comments said I spent lots of money just for because this is the best relic in the game. So I opened up my wallet to get the best relic in the game.
You cannot judge him.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that's what they said. And they said like now I feel like I just got robbed. Is exactly what his comment was. So
exactly because
this.
Yeah. I mean, I will understand like if they also give like. By the way, like here is the thing, like you got lucky, right? Let's say you got lucky. You are not well or anything. You got lucky. You craft these relics. Like it's one of the best relics in the game. What you are gonna do? You are going to sacrifice your basalt, starstone, whatever. Try to upgrade these relics, level up. And Teleria also doesn't give anything for that. They only give you 640 starstone. I mean, at least give their basalt back.
It's a fair argument, but what I will say is it nerfed to the point where it's still not usable, right? Because again, I agree with that they should have tested this better, and when implemented, should have been, maybe a little bit more of a power creep than some of the other relics, but. Is it nerfed to the point where it's not useful?
But But here is the thing, like, let's say your speed is 300, okay, like, I just throw in the numbers, and there is a guy with the 400. Probably you still cannot reach him with the crown. Or let's say, like, his speed is 350. Before, with this relics, you can be faster than him. After, you cannot be faster than him. It's still very strong. It's like Hello and Hilt now, right? It's basically... Yeah, I mean...
Yeah.
I mean, Hello and Hilt, you can also craft the Hello and Hilt like any other time. Like, you don't have to go hard and spend your resources or the money to try to get it, right? So, it's just normal relics now.
But does it not rob everybody who maybe wasn't playing the game when this event was possible for them to keep the relic the same? And then it just...
I mean, they are going to release this relics eventually, so they can try their chance again on this time.
Yeah, I mean, 2 years from now.
I don't know, dude.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Ken.
I was just gonna say, I mean, I'm of the opinion that I'm glad they nerfed it. And I mean, I'm sorry that people open their wallet for a gacha game, but gacha, I mean, what do you expect? Like, that's what this game does. And if they nerf champions, they're gonna nerf relics. And if they nerf relics, then they're gonna nerf gear sets. And if they, you know what I'm saying? Like, if the game is too unbalanced, you know, then people are gonna quit. And as much as Plarium does cater and kowtow to the Krakens and the whales, they need other people to play the game, or else there's going to be nobody for the whales and Krakens to beat up on. So when you have something that is so extremely scaled, that makes basically, if you have this relic on your account, you're untouchable. And the 1% of people that craft this mythical relic should not be able to climb just because they have a relic. Like, I don't think that that's fair to the entire player base. Now, people opening their wallets and going all out, like, I feel sorry. I feel bad for them for doing that. And, you know, we can't ever base what we do on this game that it's going to stay static and stay the same. Like, you invest in what you choose to invest in, but there's also you've got to have some self-reflection and be like, is this worth it all the way 100% for me to go all in no matter what, even if it could potentially be nerfed? Because they've nerfed so much in this game already that to think that this was going to slip by or anything is going to slip by untouched is honestly, in my opinion, a foolish thought process to have for a gacha game.
I mean, I agree with you, but even they are nerfed it, they should be give some resources back to the player who invest or the, you know, got the stuff, you know, like same for the champion rebalance, like nerf. I mean, like if they are going to nerf the champion, like there is other gacha games doing that. They are giving your like resources back, like the investment XP, like they are giving your chicken back. They are giving your awakening level back. Watch your round, like there is a living proof here. Like why the raid is so
stingy.
Yeah, I mean, like, I won't be invest on this game, to be honest. Like, if I was a spender, I'm like, are they gonna nerf it? Like, should we get it? Like, I was always have a question mark on my brain. Thankfully, I'm free to play, so I don't have to worry about it. But yeah,
right. And again, this is gonna be one of those things where people, you know, we see the signs and what happens. So when you do decide that, you know, you're gonna spend this, you kind of decide, you know, is it really worth it? Where is that really going, right? I do want to point out here, I think it was Armenian God that said, you know, crypto went from a 75% win rate. Now that he has this up to a 95, I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. And he's a clear example of somebody who has it, right? Now, I will say, I think most of the feedback, or what I hear, most of the feedback was from the pay-to-win Krakens, and this is why Plarium decided to nerf it. I don't know if that is true or not.
Supreme Club probably.
It probably is.
Probably. But I do feel like, you know, if that is the case, if the 1% is the one that's saying, hey, this is too busted, too broken, I'm untouchable by 99% of the player base, then you know what? Maybe that's a good thing. That said, PJ, what are your thoughts on it, man?
Yeah, overall, pretty happy that they're doing this. I think for a limited relic, it was way too strong. I don't have it, so it could be a little bit biased, but I think even if I did have it, I still would think this. I It's not like it's bad. Like the thing is it's not like they absolutely made it shit. It's still really good. It's on par with the other speed relics now. So I don't feel really super bad for people that got it because it's still amazing. Like I went for the 100 mythical mats a couple days ago to try to get this, and I think even if I knew this nerf was coming, I still would have gotten those because I don't have any mythical relics. They're really hard to get, and I still need them. I want them, so I don't think it really would have changed. Maybe people wouldn't have gone for it before if they knew this was coming, but generally, I think it's what was needed to be done for the game. I'm happy. I'm not happy that they did it now. I think they could have done it earlier. It kind of
Right.
feels like they baited us into, oh, it's kind of broken. Everyone should go for it. Everyone go for it. Now they're like, okay, everyone has gone for it, wasted the resources. Now we'll nerf it. So wish they would have done it sooner. But overall, I'm happy that they did it.
Right. And I that does seem very plausible that they just said, hey, look, it's really juicy. It's here. Open it up. And then, oh, now it's gone. So that, I guess, that is very, very predatory, or it feels very predatory, right? That said, let me ask chat a question here. Do you guys think that the rebalance of this relic still makes it powerful, or is it just now you're just kind of like a bad taste in your mouth and you don't really want to use it? Zero, what about you?
Yeah, I think the other thing that we haven't talked about too is there's no indication of what relics are when you go into a fight or what relics are on the champions too. So I think like even if you were the big whale kraken and you had a 500 plus speed Siffy or something, you're like, oh man, I'm going to go first every time. And then the 400 and whatever speed person has this relic on, and now they're almost 600 speed or something. You know, I know it didn't multiply that much. I'm exaggerating, but you get my point. It made people with those super fast champs just that much more untouchable, right? It made the 420 to 450 speed people, which is really fast in the game. I don't know, Gessel, you play live arena. What's your fastest champion?
460.
460. So it would have made his 460 5+, right? And so it just there's no way to kind of indicate that. And you're in like Gessel's like, oh, I'm used to going to these fights. And then boom, you know, someone rocks this thing and you're just toast and you don't stand a chance. So again, for the majority of us, I think the other thing that can be said is balance is when justified are needed. So I guess this case they thought they needed it. But I'll also say Playerm is notoriously slow at balance changes and making changes in the game. So at least they did it earlier rather than later.
Right.
From that perspective.
I mean,
right. So those are all things you kind of want to pat them on the back for.
Right. The Chaos Awaken events has been going on for 2 months. So again, I agree with Ken where he said that they should have tested this prior. And they really should have. They really should have, right? But you know, you gotta give them at least a little bit of credit that they took action sooner rather than later, and they didn't leave years going on. That said, Gessel, what about you, man?
Yeah, it's been I like to blame this for the reason why I've been losing a lot of speed races lately, because I don't I feel like I'm losing to accounts where, like, if it was say +2 empowered fully awakened whatever champ that I'm losing it to, name the speed champ, then like I'm like, okay, yeah, obviously I could understand why I lost. I probably wouldn't even try to try to be faster than them. I would have tried to go a speed team into them. But accounts where like it's a 1-star blessing, no empowered, are out speeding me, and I'm just like, what the heck is going on here? And I feel like this was like, you know, and the people in my chat would be like, it's got to be that glit, like, or it's got to be that that relic.
You know what this reminds me of? do you remember when Taurus Marichka came out and accounts that had no business in Arena were
That's what
getting
it feels
Taurus
like.
Marichka? And it's like, wait, you're just kind of slapping them in there with like crappy gear. And, that's kind of what it feels
Yeah.
like.
Very similar. Yeah. So it's been weird, I guess. I don't have it, so I'm not upset it's happening. Hopefully I feel like I'm actually fast again. So yeah, that's I guess my experience with it. I guess I'm glad they're changing it. It is kind of weird the way it scales because I don't feel like anything else scales that way. Normally
Yeah.
it is off just the base speed. So yeah, so I think it's fair. I think it's fair. Sorry to everyone that got it. And like also like obviously a nerf is not good, and it stinks when you drop a whole bunch of money to get a champ or a relic, whatever. I trust me, I feel for you. But this game does have nerfs. This game does have buffs. It's like all games have it, right? So like it's just bound to happen. If something seems OP, like expect it to be nerfed. That's just the way it is.
Yeah. And I'm reading chat here, and there's a couple of people here in chat that can confirm that it was one of the topics in the Supreme Club, and very well could be why it was nerfed. Obviously, they're not going to tell us why. Or how they came to that ultimate decision and what the feedback was. But if a discussion is being have there, where you do have a lot of the 1% that is competing in every aspect of the game, and it's saying, listen, we don't think this is balanced, and we're the 1%, we're the ones opening our wallets up, I think that speaks in volumes, right? So that said, is this Relic now to the point where it's going to be as, compared to other mythical relics? Like, I still think my Stormcaller is the best mythical relic out there, to be quite honest, because I have it on my Marius. But do you guys think that this is going to put the crown in the same slot as other mythical relics? Ken?
Yeah, in my opinion, like it's basically like Halo and Hilt now, isn't it?
Kind of. I think the hilt has
Damage bonus as well, but
yeah.
buff.
The hilt has the effect chance of fever, which
that's 10% more damage, basically.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, it gives us speed. It doesn't give us crit damage. This does give us crit damage. So it's still a little bit better in that aspect. But, it is something that you're only going to be able to get once every 6 to 10 months, depending on when they release it. King, what about you?
I mean, I think it's still completely viable. And I think that, sometimes in the community, I think that we're really quick to yell nerf when I really think that the word that should be used is balance. And I think that it was a good thing for the game, whether people paid for it or not. But yeah, as far as just talking about the relic itself, it's completely viable. I still think it's extremely strong, and anywhere you can get speed, it is strong. Period.
I agree. Zero, what about you?
Yeah, I think Copium brings up a great point. Balance is more, and like this thing is broken, and seems like Titus is out of balance too, as well. I think it's funny though that we're less worried about the clans clash like we were in Hydra today, or I feel like there's less emphasis on it so much. So. But that can be something that gets brought up.
That's how they got us with the Titus, because now it's like, hey, you got a champion. We gave you the chance to get a champion that, you could do what everybody else was doing that you were complaining about. So there you go. Yeah. PJ, what about you?
Yeah, I still think it's a really good relic. I think it's now on par with the other mythical relics versus being way far and beyond the best relic. At least if you're looking to go fast, go first. If we're talking about speed here. So yeah, now it's in line with the other ones. If you get it, it's still gonna be good. It's still gonna give you a big chunk of speed. That 24 if you get it fully maxed. And yeah, I think it's in a good spot now.
I like how PJ emphasizes that 24 speed when you get it fully max, which is going to be in like 2035 at the rate that we're going, guys. Actually, chat, how many of you have a fully maxed relic? What is your highest level relic? I'm interested to find out. Gestel, we'll leave this off with you. Is this still going to be a good relic for Arena?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, exactly like these guys were saying earlier. Like, and anywhere you can find even a little extra speed, you're happy to get it. Especially when you're like, if you're tacking on 4 speed onto like, whatever, from 456 to 460, like it's only 4 man, but it seems like such a big gain. And you can get even that little bit from these, so I still think it's huge, and it's way more than that, obviously. But
Right. I think maybe if they hadn't coded it to where it's all your speed and just your baseline speed, it wouldn't have been a bad thing. But how good would it have been then, right? Would that have been better than what we currently got? Let me give a shout out to the Cursed One who came in earlier while I was talking. I didn't want to stop right in the middle, but big shout out to him. Make sure you guys are following him over on Twitch. Give him a sub on there or a follow. Now, that said, let's talk about for the last year, we've been, or a little bit over a year, we've been complaining one question. When are we getting the fucking dog? A lot of us, right, went for this Sayak Packmaster. I actually ended up missing him because I was just too busy, and I didn't get him. And then after Taunt was nerfed, I was like, well, I guess I didn't waste resources. But now that said, this puppy has came in, and man, does he seem strong. Although coming off of Titus fusion, we got to ask ourselves, is it worth going for him? Now, some of us may just be going for him because we've asked for him for so long. Some of us will go for him because he is actually pretty solid. I will want to give a shout out to Scratch over here, who I think out of all the test server footage did the most realistic build, not using blessings, not using relics and stuff like that. So big shout out to Scratch. In showing what he's, what he would do on an endgame account without all the extras, right? So let's break down the skill kit. Let's see how good this guy is going to be, and let's see, should we go for him or not? Now, on the A1, attacks all enemies. This attack deals single target damage to each individual attack rather than AoE, will ignore reflect damage, pain link, debuffs, and ally protection. This attack also deals double damage when attacking with Packmaster Sayak on the team. So he is going to work a lot like, I think it was Thor, where it's each individual champion gets hit. So there is no AoE damage reduction in Hydra. I do like that we have the reflect damage that we're going to be ignoring. That's going to counter things like Death Knight. That's going to counter the head of Wrath. Ally protection is not going to be a problem. The A2 attacks all enemies, places an extra hit on enemies under 2 or more debuffs, which he does bring, or you can also pair with Lydia. Has a 75% chance of placing a leech debuff and a 25% weaken for 2 turns. These debuffs cannot be resisted if Packmaster Sayak is on the same team. To be quite honest, myself, I don't think I would build him with accuracy regardless. But if you do have a Packmaster Sayak, that's an extra little bonus. It does book down to a 3-turn cooldown with 100%. The A3 attacks one target, will ignore 50% of the target's defense, as well as life barrier, poison cloud, and any effects that redirect your attack, damage, or debuffs to another target. Repeats this attack once if Packmaster Syx on the same team. Again, books down to a 3-turn cooldown. And then the passive, I think this is the one that they needed to be a little more clear on. And it wasn't as confident when I did my video explaining it, but increases the champion's attack by 5% when killing an enemy or decapitating a Hydra head. Stacks up to 25%. Increases the champion's attack by 10% when killing an enemy and decapitating a Hydra head instead if Packmaster Syx is on the same team. And then this part is right here where they needed to be a little more clear. Instantly activates the A3 against a Hydra head when an ally is consumed by the head. If Packmaster Syx is on the same team, basically if not when you get swallowed, but when you get consumed, when you get eaten, he will basically go into say 3. Now, again, what I've seen from the damage videos, and again, big shout out to Scratch, it seems pretty solid, right? It seems kind of good, but following the Titus fusion, do we really need him? So, Ken, will you be going for this guy, and what do you think about the skill kit?
I mean, great point. I also mentioned that on my video. Like, he's on the paper looking good. I didn't check the test server video yet, but you telling he's actually hitting quite hard. But he's not gonna hit hard like Titus, right? Or the Tranda. I mean,
right.
Especially right after the Titus fusion.
Yep.
I mean, theoretically, we need a 3 Hydra key. So each team need a multiple champion on it. Unless you have a multiple Titus comp with multiple Titus on it, you still need another strong champion, right? For that reason, still worth to go for him, obviously. He's also going to be great on the hard faction mode, especially if you have Packmaster. But yeah, like, it's actually, like, it's been 1 year since the Polarium promised us a dog. I was kind of, like, curious about it, like, are they going to be nailed it? Because, like, Hydra change. Like, when they released the Packmaster fusion, Hydra was old Hydra, like before the changes. And I'm like, oh man, like even they released the dog right now, Elia attack pretty much like bad now, stuff like that. Are they going to be nailed? I feel like he's actually above my expectation. He's actually looking pretty good, and I'm definitely going to get him. But again, like, don't expect Titus performance from him, everybody. Right. But again, Titus can be get nerfed, so we can be start using him instead. So keep that on your mind.
Okay. I do want to give a thing here. Being useless makes a good comment here that you can use him on the Ram form in Chimera with the A1, since he will not reflect the damage. So that could help you out there. Although you'll just be A1ing at that point, right? I feel like we're gonna get him. And actually, let me ask chat: do you guys think they nailed the skill kit post Hydra changes? King, will you be going for this guy, and is he really worth it for you?
I will be going for him. I have Packmaster on 2 out of the 3 accounts that I'm playing at this point. Hydra is definitely still something that I have work to do in. I do see value in him, and I also see value in him in other places. Hard faction wars, I think he can be useful. Chimera can be useful. This is kind of one of those things where, for end gamers, I can see where it's kind of, you're either got to catch them all, or you're like, what is this guy really going to do for me? But I think for everybody else, early to late game, I think this guy does bring a lot of value. The thing that sucks is just getting the dog right after the Titus fusion, which was an unmissable because it was a void fusion, which was also the harder style of fusion. It just takes a lot more resources. And the main thing that I'm seeing right now is people saying that they don't have anything left in the tank. And so I just think that it sucks because we've been waiting a year. Well, you guys have been waiting a year, right? And then here it comes right after, like, just people we can't catch a break in the community. And it kind of feels like another one of these situations where it's like, yeah, see, we told you we'd do it, right? But you're gonna have to swipe to get it.
Yep.
And it's just, I mean, dude, it's just getting old, man. It's getting really old. And with huge shout out to Godforge, man. Hopefully it comes through.
I like how you sneak that in there. Actually, here's another question. How many of you guys actually got into the Godforge Alpha chat? Let me know. I got into it, and maybe I was talking to some of these guys about doing a, kind of comparison between the both. Maybe Raid can learn some things early on from Godforge. Zero, what about you, man? Are you going to be going for this fusion? Is he worth it?
Yeah, 100,000% for a million reasons. And I do want to say what King Copium just said is 100%. I felt that way too. Now we have had like about a half a week of like, but like, I mean, it has been go nonstop throughout this whole Chaos Awakens event, all the way at the beginning. But here's the thing you got to see about this dude. First of all, he's bringing stuff to the table by himself that some other champions don't necessarily have, like the built-in reflect damage. We talked about that. Yeah, you can only use the A1. But then the other thing you have to look at is between Shayak. I mean, Shayak's, unless I'm mistaken, Shayak's the only like, obviously there's pairs, your Siffy and your Rhodos, your Mariska Tross, King and Queen, all these different pairs, even crappier ones like Oella Ultan and stuff like that. But first of all, they're all in the same faction. Okay, if you happen to have aura guys, that just pumps up your aura guys even more, and these dudes are gonna slay. And then based on the testing, this guy's hitting twice as hard. Basically, and I know Ken says he hasn't looked at the damage yet. Basically, picture this guy as like a G Nut in terms of how much damage he's putting out.
Yeah.
He's triple hitting for $1 million a pop type thing, or like a Marius. So picture this dude as G Nut or Marius, but when paired with Shayak, he's got all this extra bells and whistles. Now, again, Shayak doesn't hit worth a flip, right? And you can argue, his damage is going to come from the hex that he puts out in this bigger battles. And clearly he's built for Hydra only. And I'm not out there trying to rebuild my Hydra teams at all. But the other thing that isn't spoken is what happens when they give us the next dog a year from now, right? And then all of a sudden, the Shayak, this dude, and new dog, dog number 2 comes in, and it's like, oh my God, insane stuff. And I don't know if y'all saw the Hell Hades one, where he got someone out of the community to talk about it, but they are beating the Doom Tower, taking 0 turns, and they're doing it with Shayak and the dogs. Because if you build a slow Shayak, if Shayak gets hit, the dogs will counterattack. And that counts all as 0 turns, because counterattacks don't count as a turn because you haven't taken your turn yet. So I don't know if y'all have seen that mechanic in the game or not, but they're basically clearing, half of the Doom Tower floors with 1 turn or 0 turns using this mechanic. So this dude's just going to ramp that up even more.
I want to ask the official content creators, Ken and Gestel, do you guys have any information on the next dog coming?
No.
Well,
Well,
a
they-
year from now. It could be. We don't know when it's coming,
How,
right?
how do
But
you know that? We don't even.
how?
Oh,
I
answer-
predicted this one. What are you talking about? I predicted this one. I predicted
Didn't
Hulk
they-
Hogan dying. Zero Brew has insider knowledge on everything in life. I don't want to hear it.
Oh, go ahead, Gestel. Sorry.
Well, I thought they said that they were there's no immediate plans, but
Yeah, no. I was just.
there weren't. Yeah.
I was just saying, I don't know how he's
Sure.
got the insider knowledge that we're going to get another dog fusion in the next year. That's all. Valid points. I do want to find out, though, like, on a standalone by himself without Packmaster, how good is he going to be in Hydra? And I saw this question in chat. I don't think he's going to be horrible. I mean, I think he's going to be Thor level type of damage. So even as a secondary, nuker support champ, I think you're still gonna be happy. I mean, the passive, I feel, is kind of big. Granted, it's only with Packmaster, but I think even just having Packmaster in just for that is going to be pretty strong. PJ, what about yourself?
Yeah, I like his kit, especially with Packmaster. Without Packmaster, I'm not quite sure how he would do. But if you have Packmaster, I think it's worth going for. Definitely in Hydra. The big thing about him is that he's very auto-friendly, with Titus and Trunda. Not very auto-friendly. This guy is very auto-friendly. He was also shredding Fashion Wars hard. I was watching Nub's video in Orc 21, and a lot of people are struggling with Orc. With all the counterattacking A1s, he was absolutely destroying the waves, which I'm pretty excited for. That's one of the ones that I struggle with. So for Faction Wars, yeah, Hydra, maybe Arena. I think Nubs brought him into Arena. He was actually pleasantly surprised on how well he was doing there. Probably not for late game, end game, but maybe for mid game could be useful there. And yeah, I think I'm pretty excited to go for him. It just thinks, like you guys mentioned, that we just had Titus, who's a very, very good Hydra damage dealer, and now it's this guy who's a good Hydra damage dealer, but not nearly like the same as Titus. But yeah, I think it's gonna be more auto-friendly, easier to set up. Won't need all the shield stuff, the reset stuff to make him do well. So yeah, overall, I think he's pretty good, and I think people should try to get him, especially if you have Packmaster.
Gestel, what about yourself?
Yeah, definitely 100% going for him. I think just pretty much like what everyone else has been saying here. The numbers on Hydra were pretty awesome. And I love that the kit is kind of built for this new Hydra, right? Like being able to get through all the nonsense that they kind of buffed with the Titus, where they thought they were nerfing Trunda, which obviously didn't happen. But so I think it'd be a good addition. Probably make a Hydra team around him. Been hanging on to this Shaik guy forever, so let's build him. Let's use him. Yeah, it'd be cool. I think he could actually be situational in arena, live arena. What he ignores, was it Pain Link?
Yep.
Is that one of them?
Yeah.
Yep.
So like, maybe into Gizmack or something, that Pain Link can be crazy difficult to deal with. So I don't know, maybe he could find a little niche spot there. You never know. So always looking for something like that.
Yeah, and just thinking about it again, you had to take up 2 of your slots for this, but like the whole slow Hefrak or the whole slow Death Knight thing, you can almost build both of these dudes super slow but mad damage output, put them in Stone Skin.
Yeah.
And if they get hit, this dude's gonna counter twice. And I'm talking like 350 per hit is what I'm seeing. And that's perfectly set up. But
right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, overall, I think he's gonna be a solid fusion. I would definitely suggest to go for him again after seeing some of the play testing. He's pretty good. The big question here though is, if you don't have Shayak, how good is he gonna be? Don't worry, guys. Plarium has you covered, or so we think so. As you most likely know, Korhad, the Throat Ripper, which, by the way, I've never seen names like this. Like, this is kind of excessive, I think, on their rating scale for names, right? Because usually they don't seem as violent names. Will join the game soon. When it happens, Packmaster Sayak skill description will include this new companion. By the way, in August, you will have the opportunity not only to get the Dogo, but you will also get his master for those who missed the Packmaster Sayak fusion, and Korhad's the Throat Ripper soul from another activity to receive the most out of this pair. Now, the way I'm reading this is Sayak is going to be a guaranteed champion for everybody, whether it's a shard, whether it's soul stones. So you know that this coming fusion is going to absolutely drain any resources you have. If you're holding on shards and you don't have them, you know you're going to be spending them, right? That said, the Soulstone I don't think is going to be as friendly as we all think to get it. Although I may be wrong, because they did kind of cap on how many people could get the Titus one, because it was 1 out of 100. So maybe this one won't be as much, because Titus was, you know, I'm not going to say that this fusion isn't good. It's definitely good, but Titus is like, I don't know, 10, 50 times better. That said, are you guys reading this the same way I am, that Packmaster is going to be a guaranteed legendary? Chat, let me know. Ken, what do you think?
I mean, it's not going to be fusion. I asked them. They confirm it, guys. It's not going to be fusion. I am thinking it's going to be guarantee as well, but I'm not sure it's going to be like free-to-play friendly guarantee, or like you have a resources you can get it, or like
sure it
tournament
won't
group
be.
leader. I think if they are making tournament leader get it, I think it's going to take too much rage from the player, I'm guessing. So probably they are not going to do like that. I'm guessing it's going to be like pet event or the Deck of Fate event guarantee. So we either going to need the open or shard or the soulstone, I'm guessing. But yeah, it's not because I know something, guys.
So I think
It's still a good thing to like they are bringing him back, to be honest. Like they give us option to have him, because lots of people didn't even play the game 1 year ago, you know, like, and it's a partner champion, so it's definitely a good thing.
Yeah, I think you're right, and that it's going to be a Titan's Path event. And what I foresee them doing is doing the Sayak and the Soulstone together is what I'm reading. And I think Rosaria just put that on in chat too. So I think that's kind of what we're going to be looking at. It's going to be ugly, because I think it's going to be around Soulstones. They're not going to do Soulstones and shards. They're either going to do either or. And they've been really, really heavy on Soulstone packs lately. So I think we're looking at it that way. King, what about you?
I mean, yeah, I definitely am interpreting it like they are giving a chance, and I also agree with Rye that it's most likely going to be coming in the form of a Titan event. I know that normally the 5-star soul is the final reward in the final tier, but I do see Shayak taking that slot. But just to circle back real quick, previously when we were talking about, is this guy still good without Shayak? I do think that Throat Ripper's worth it, because even with another ally attack, that A1 is going to be hitting every dog head or every Hydra head. And so I just want to stress that even if you don't have Shayak, or even if you don't think that you can reach the end of a Titan event, I do think that this is a worthwhile fusion to go for. But to circle back to the current question, I do think it'll be Soul Stones as well, and that sucks, because Iron Twins is a stingy mistress, and I just think that that's kind of that is their cash grab event, is Soul Stones. So it's definitely gonna this is a swipe fusion. If you foresee yourself needing Shayak. So
I
guaranteed.
I agree that they've definitely, it feels like they've moved away from trying to sell you the more shards, because there are so many champions in the game, to where it's all about Soulstones now. That's literally what they're going to lock. 90% of all endgame stuff is going to be locked behind the Soulstones, because it is a 6 times multiplier on you getting something you want with the RNG, right? Zero, what about you?
Yeah, it does feel kind of crappy, and I think y'all have already said some of the things I've thought about. So maybe it's a soul event where you got to do the keys and unlock, and they put both the soul and the the champion in there. It'd be really crappy if it was one of those big ones where they give you like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-star soul and this champion somewhere in there. That would be extra dirty. And then again, yeah, who knows what the resource is going to be to pull it. I will say though, I know we're talking about the Shikes if you don't have the Shike, but honestly, this dude is amazing. The Throat Ripper here, if you don't have the 5-star soul for him, he's not going to be that good at all, right? So we've always talked about that, especially attack-based nukers. You have to have that minimum 4-star soul for them to be viable in today's meta.
I will say that Scratch did his video without a soul stone, and it's without a soul, and it still was pretty solid damage.
That's good. I mean, that's good to see. Just imagine that with that extra, 45% or 38% crit damage or whatever.
Yeah,
30,
he does ramp up quite a bit.
Yeah, and the ramp is very solid.
Yeah, the extra 600 attack.
Yeah. PJ, what about you?
Oh, hold on. One thing I didn't say. No. I had one other thought. Is we haven't had a traditional, you know how 2 or 3 years ago they would used to say, hey, if you pull X amount of shards, you get a guaranteed champion out of that. We haven't done those in a long time. And I know the card flip has kind of replaced that mechanic in the game, but we still would get those every now and then. And I don't remember the last one that we had.
To be quite honest, I don't want them to bring those back. I want the card flip because the card flip can stay in the vault or can stay in the summoning portal for you to be able to get points. Exactly.
There you go.
So PJ, what about you?
I was hoping they're gonna do something like this. I was talking about this a couple days ago in one of my videos, saying maybe they'll do something like they did with Lady Noelle and Sir Nick. So that could be an option. But I'm glad they're giving us some way of getting Packmaster for people that didn't get him a few years ago, because there's a lot of new players. Raid's always getting new players every day, and the combo with this guy looks very, very solid. It's good that he might be able to be used without Shayak, but with the combo, he looks really good. So yeah, happy that they're gonna give us a way to get him. Hopefully, it's not gonna be too crazy. That's the only issue is new players are going to have a lot of resources to do the fusion, then also get this guy, whoever that is. It's going to be probably like another mini fusion, or it's going to be like 20 sacreds or soul stones or something like that. So that's the only issue, is that the people that don't have him probably might not be able to get him either this time around either. So, but I'm happy that they're giving us a shot at least.
Okay. I had something to say, but I'm reading chat here. I'm getting losing track. Gessel, what about yourself?
Yeah, I think it's probably the smart play. I think, has it been a year since the other one? So
yeah,
plenty of people started playing since that came out. This gives them a shot at getting them. Again, we don't know what that shot is. I'm going to speculate and say it is going to be either path event or the flip the card one, whatever, the deck of fate event. I think it's gonna be one or the other. I think the problem is you're gonna probably need a fair amount of shards to do it, or soul stones, or both.
Yeah.
So that's probably the unfortunate side of it, but like if you are, I don't know, a year or two in and you've started to really like save your shards, this is probably a good event for you to like really make gains in Hydra and a lot of other places. And I think it'd probably be a good place to go for both of them if you have neither. Because he's looking insane, man. As a combo, he looks really good.
Agreed.
Can I add something as well?
Go ahead.
So Darren just brought it up in chat, and I was thinking about this too in stream last night. We were talking about it. So these champions where it says, if there's more than one of this champion, then this skill does not activate. It does not say that on Shayak or on the dog. So double Packmaster. So double Packmaster, potentially like pretty nutty.
Or double 4 hits on a counterattack.
Damn.
Yeah,
that's true.
And so that is also pretty interesting. Yeah, and they can change it. I mean, it's Plarium, right? So, but So go into it with a grain of salt. But then the other thing too was I forgot. So tune in.
I forgot he says. Yeah, that's a good point, man. That's a good point. It does not say that anyone is skill kits. So 2x Packmasters. I do have one account that has 2x Packmasters, so I may try that. Shit. Now that means I'm gonna have to go for this fusion from on more than one account. Damn it.
Dude, my account has a +1 Packmaster. Imagine how frustrated I am to have that.
Oh, you have. All right. So yeah, I'm hoping that, you know, obviously it's gonna be you gotta bring this out, right? That's what they're looking for. But I hope it's gonna be achievable. So let me give a shout out here to Mr. Soul Saint. Joining us over here on the Twitch side. Make sure you guys are giving him a follow both on YouTube and Twitch. Another great content creator out there. Love him and can't wait till we get him back on the podcast. Hint, hint. I know we've only had you on one time, but you know, people do want you back. All right, let's talk a little bit about something. So last week, after the podcast ended, I made a phone call to a unique individual here. They can raise their hand if they wouldn't mind. I'm talking about you, Zero.
What I did?
We had a little conversation last week, and I forgot to even talk about it because this coalition event is coming up to an end, and Plarium did something different on this event. They made every one of these champions a guaranteed other than the mythical that you needed to get the final reward for their massive giveaway. Now, this has made some players really upset that they didn't say from the start. And we, again, all know that Plarium is not going to communicate everything to us. But based on the other events that they had done in the past, and this one, let's kind of talk about how this event, I feel, was better in rewards. We're not talking transparency and what's going to happen, but I think overall, this was actually much better than some of the last ones. So with that start, Ken, what were your, actually, let me go Zero first. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, I think too, compared to the other two events, we had to get all 5 champions because they had the Thor and the, what's her face, the Queen of Hearts also was one that you had to get. And so I think, it made this one easier to only have to get 4 of the 5, even though this champion was a mythical, but they didn't make it as part of that. So I think that's, you know, one thing that made it more doable. And yeah, I think the fact that they gave us an option to be able to go for all of these, again, what we mentioned earlier about how this has been a tough couple of months because we had to almost go for all these different things and go get it. And then I'm gonna be honest, the rewards that they spit out, I just collected mine Tuesday night. Fantastic, you know, cool little frame. One of the legendary relics, especially if you HP burner, is really nice. And so I'm in favor of it at least being attainable. The first 2 times they did this, I feel like less than 0.5% of the community probably got it. I you know, maybe Gestel got it or someone like that, but I don't know. I thought it was great that it was a little more obtainable for the majority of the people.
Right. I think I will say, like, this is the one event where I've always been like, listen, you got to give, if you're going to lock these champions in for especially specific events, you need to give everybody the opportunity to get them, whether they're free to play or pay to win. Now, again, I'm not going to lie. I don't like that they did not tell us that there was going to be guaranteed events for basically every one of these champions or the other 2 that were needed. But I think I will give them kudos for, you know, making it accessible to everybody, whether, you know, if you
really,
save resources.
One was given to us, right? Lemonici was given to everybody, and Tholen was a fusion. So really, you only had to go get the other 2, and they made it guaranteed.
True.
So,
but I know a lot of people were pissed because they went for some of these guys during the 15X and the 25X, and they didn't get them. And then they basically had to open up their wallet and say, okay, well, here are my soul stones, here are my shards for this guaranteed. So I do want to know from chat, were you guys, do you guys give them credit for pulling, or I guess switching to this type of method for the event, right? Because overall, I think the coalition event was very successful. It was good. And I kind of wish that they would continue this. Ken, what about you?
I agree with you. I like like there was like server wide milestone. I also like the reward over there, and it was achievable for me. Some of the quests, some of the challenges was difficult for the players, especially like early game, mid game. But I could be able to get my last milestone without spending anything or the like extra like resources that much, to be honest. But I've been playing the game 5 years, guys. So, and other than this, there is just one thing is bother me. I wish we know they are going to do both of the champion guarantee.
Yeah, I don't think
So
it's just you. I
it.
think that is everyone that was really, really pissed at that because again, people were going in hundreds of shards trying to pull some of these champions. And honestly, this was the one event where I was like, you know what? I'm not going to chase everything because they're long-term champions. If I get them, I get them. If I don't get them, I don't get them. And then coming through the guarantees, I was like, well, I guess I have the resources. Let me go for it, right? Because I really didn't chase any of them during the shard situation. So,
same. I mean, like, I didn't open my shard during their 2x, 10x, 15x, whatever x, because I didn't find them strong for my account wise. But I won't be skip the Grekosh guarantee if I know they are also going to do guarantee for the Balar. Like, that's the thing. Like, I will go both of them because by collecting all of them is going to give us extra resources, like you guys mentioned earlier. And also, like, for example, like I did that for the Chiv account. You guys know the Chiv, right? Chiv Auto, shout out the Chiv. And we opened like 33 secret chart during the 2x, 10x Balar. And he probably need to open less to get guarantee Balar coming the next week, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's...
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, that's not good, Polario.
Sometimes it just takes one shard. Sometimes,
That's how they get you.
Exactly. King, what about you?
I mean, I didn't go for the guarantees. So I thought it was, I like the event overall. This is my first time being in an event like this since, I came back to the game like 4 months ago now at this point. So I like the amount of resources that they gave us for, relic crafting, and then the coalition event was pretty cool. And I was a fan of it. I think I underestimated how much of the relic crafting material I was going to get. So I would have pushed a little bit harder in the beginning, which that's my fault purely. But yeah, I mean, I look forward to the next one. If it's like this one, I think it'll be solid. I hope that they don't do the event dungeon like this ever again. And I think that this is a winning point for me. Out of everything that's frustrated me since coming back to the game, the coalition event has been a solid win since I've been back.
And you make a good point there on the being able to craft so many relics. I think with this event, they definitely gave us the opportunity to go for a lot more relics. Granted, they were locked behind shards and stuff like that, but I think the relic material was definitely more accessible this one than it was with some of the other ones, which then again, kind of puts you into that situation where they did this, and then, for people who got the crown, got it nerfed. But PJ, what about you?
I thought the coalition event was pretty good. I liked it. I didn't really like how you had to do the fusion to really get a lot of the challenges done. Like, you could do it just with the daily repeatable ones, but it'd be a lot. So hopefully they change that in the future. As far as the guaranteeds, like you guys said, I'm happy that they did the guaranteed. I'm just not happy that they didn't say anything about it, because a lot of people would have played it way differently. Again, like what Compacti said, classic Chew. Yeah, he pulls 33 during a 2x, gets 6 sacred or 6 Legos. None of them are the 10x for it. And then like a week later, he could have pulled 20 or less and would have gotten Balar. So that really stinks that they played it like that. But overall, I'm happy that they did do it, because it did give a chance if you saved and played it smart to get all the guarantees. I was able to get Gracchus and Balar. For some reason, I just kept on saving. I was like, maybe they'll do one for Balar, maybe they'll do one for Balar, even though they already did one for Gracchus, and it actually turned out working out. But I don't think a lot of people were planning on that, which is what player wanted, obviously.
Right.
So
And
it was
they kind of did those towards the end too, right? They didn't do it right at the
Exactly.
front. They held
Yeah.
off. They said, okay, you know, we've gotten your shards. You've gotten far enough in. We've got like 3 weeks left of the event. You know what? Let's give you that chance, and then say at least we gave you the chance, even though, you know, we took all your
yeah.
resources beforehand.
And then they also doubled up on the Gracchus 5-star blessing, because they did that before they even did Gracchus guaranteed, and then they just did it again. So that's kind of interesting as well.
Yes, I did actually end up getting the Gracchus 5-star soul from the champion
Nice.
trading. And
Lucky you,
I
got
honestly,
sniped.
huh? You got
I
sniped?
said, lucky you, I got sniped. Yeah, I got sniped.
Oh, I mean, I was the one that did the sniping like 6 hours at the end, and I'm trying to figure out why my RSL helper isn't working. Mostly because I was being impatient. I wanted it to go fast, and yeah, it was a lot of manualing for a while until I figured out what happened. But
I
he's,
do.
go ahead.
I was just gonna jump in and just say that when they did the first time they did the event, which was the Blademaster event, they did communicate with us at the very beginning and said these are the events that you can do to get these champions. And at that time, it was I call him Phallic Blademaster, but the Fatalis Blademaster, which is the Void one. They announced that he would only be like on a 10 or 15x. It's probably a 10x at the time, 2 years ago, on the Void shards, and then halfway through that event, they did make it a guaranteed chance to get him. And then people like me, again, in this same example, were pissed off. It was like, hey, you told us that this is the only way to go get this champion. And then they actually had to come out and make a statement that says, hey, we reserved the right to, you know, modify. And I think
Yep.
I remember us talking about that in that
said
statement
that.
back then. Right. If y'all remember that. So
I remember.
I treat these events as like, it is what it is. And then now they don't even communicate with us. They just say, hey, events are coming. Be prepared to get this champion any way, shape, or form. Right. So,
Well,
yeah,
let me
just
based
saying
on
it
that
as a-
though.
yeah.
Based on that though, right? Like they've told us in the past, and we've obviously a lot of us are veterans in the game. We kind of know at this point like what their antics are going to be. So I feel like at this point they've communicated to us what their plans are by previous events. So I guess do we anticipate what's going to happen and kind of say, you know what, we're going to go ahead and wait, and if I miss him, I miss him.
I mean,
yes,
I think that's fair. But I just want to say, like, I think that's fair. But dude, there's so much going on in the game at once.
true.
Like, I mean, you're doing the Lemonici chase, the flag chase, whatever that's called, and then you're doing, you know, every tournament, every event, so you can get crafting materials, and then you've got the coalition event, you got fusions, you've got clashes, CVCs, sieges, like,
Yeah.
it's crazy, man. So like any amount of information or roadmap that they're willing to share, like, there's no reason that they shouldn't be a bit more transparent. Again, it's just
Well,
like communication is appreciated. Like,
we say that, but there is a reason for them. And again, it
Well,
goes
yeah.
behind this, right? It's all about the money. That's That's
Well,
it.
I think our complaint at that time, though, was that they actually weaponized the communications, right? They said, here's how
Right.
you're going to get him. So spend money and buy void shards to get him. And then they offered him as a guaranteed. And
Right.
and at that time, I was like, hey, you're weaponizing communication. Like, I'd rather you just not say shit at all and let us figure it out. Or you just drop it when you drop it. Then if you just say, this is the only way to get him. Oh, we reserve the right to change our mind halfway through this event. After we've gotten people's wallets open the first time. So anyway,
Yeah.
I think copium. Yeah, that was the thing. Was them weaponizing it was the beat. I agree. They should be more transparent, but they don't need to weaponize it. Again, we talked about it being like an abused spouse too. All right, like please don't punch me in the face, player, like you did last time.
Yep. Rosaria, yeah, I actually emptied out my pockets and like Friday or Thursday because I didn't go to work and I left a whole bunch of cash on my desk, so I just kind of have that there. Gestel, what about you? What do you think about the coalition event and how they proceeded with all the champions and stuff?
Yeah, I think these events would be more successful if they handle it, if they present them this way every time. Not present it as in like you're able to get all the ones except for maybe the mythical. That's fine. But if you get all the champs that are kind of, in one respect or another, you can guarantee to get them, I think that's great. As everyone else has said, I think either we can just kind of know that going forward, just like, okay, like we all know that they're going to be available at some point. We just don't know when. That would be fine too. They don't necessarily have to tell us which ones or whatever. It could just be like almost an unspoken truth that this will always be the case moving forward. Or they could just tell us. That would be even better, obviously. But I think they should stick with this kind of program. The one that I did do it on, I remember now thinking about it, because I did get lucky and got the Archer girl, as Kampachi always likes to call her. But I had gotten all the other champs, and then I got lucky with the Archer girl. So that's the one I got them all on. And they gave you like a Lego book for getting all those champs. So like,
Yeah.
can we get like some reparations here, please? Like, why are you giving out all sorts of good stuff now? We got nothing back in the day, and it was hard to get Archer Girl back in the day, man. You get lucky on that 2x.
Yep.
Sheesh.
And you know, the Fatalis one was one of the ones that they did where after the event was done, it's over. You're not getting them again, right? So I feel like that.
No, but wait, Fatalis too, didn't they do like a progressive event or progressive thing, and then they did a guaranteed after that, and they didn't tell us they were going to do the guaranteed for him.
Yep.
That's the only reason I got Fatalis. I didn't pull for him on the progressive. No way. But
it definitely was one of the ones at the start where I was just like, you know what, like they didn't, because they did do a guarantee for Electrion. They did do the guaranteed for the Blade Master. The Archer was a champ training that was absolutely insane. But again, like if you're going to lock them, like these champions, 90% of the no one else coming into raid now can have any of these champions. And you know, it's not like they're crazy. I mean, I did see a couple of compositions with Electrion coming in. Archer is definitely a solid champion to have. And I want to say, like, Fatalis, I think the only reason I got Faction Wars 21 down was because I had him, right? So with that in mind, though, like, I do want to give a message out to Plarium and saying the Coalition event was, in my eyes, a success on how you put it out. I liked that you gave the opportunity to everybody to get the champions, to go for it. The only thing, and again, maybe this is where we kind of see like, okay, we've pretty much learned their antics and can expect this, or should we expect this? Because again, they changed their mind, is be a little more transparent on like, listen, these guys are going to be guaranteed in these types of events, which I guess doesn't make you money, but as gamers ourselves, we kind of see keeping the game or keeping the gamer happy is more beneficial for us, because then we'll keep playing, we'll keep going. But investors don't really see it that way, right? And I will say, like, the Lemnisci chase, I feel like this was just a lot more easier to do. Although I will say the logging into the game, if you've already logged into the game and it resets, you have to actually log back out and log back in, which is kind of annoying.
So stupid, dude.
But it's basically, if you were just doing your dailies, 5 minutes of dailies, you were getting this done, maybe 10 minutes. And some of my old accounts were actually getting the 5-star because usually I don't really get them. So again, I do want to say that they did a decent job. I will say they did a good job. Just a little more transparency for the community to be happy, right? I get it. You want us to, complain because even bad publicity is still publicity. And it gets the excitement or intriguing of why players are playing this game and still complaining about it. But that said, just be a little more transparent. Any of you guys have anything else to say about the Coalition event before we end off part of this?
I just had the one thought that just popped in my mind because we talked about because you were talking about investments, investors, and stuff. And, they've bought out the new, I guess, owners of the game. What's her name again? I can't remember.
MTG.
Yeah. So the one thing I've noticed is I feel like, and I think we've all been kind of saying it, but we haven't really said it, or we've said it in parts and pieces. I feel like they're cramming more together. Like they haven't touched like how much more of the game is more accessible, but they're cramming more together. And what I mean by that is starting the Titan event for the Soul while the fusion's still going on. So, squeeze in that week, for example. And now, like, even with this dog thing, and then we just gone through, like, we've already complained about this huge gauntlet of resource draining. And now they're saying, okay, here's a dog. Event's not over. Here's a dog. And by the way, the soul for the dog. And if you didn't get Shayak, you can get him too. And it's like, oh, now we're cramming 3 things together, where one of these at a time used to be really, really tough. So I think, I don't know. When you said investors, I was like, wait, new owners. And now I feel like over the last 6 months, things are getting compressed more, and it's been just a more drain on resources. I don't know. Anybody get any thoughts on that?
I think that's pretty valid. I mean, as a spender, I guess I've noticed that it's continuously going. And I will say, like, I usually like to stay at like 10-15K gems. And I mean, I'm sitting at 2,600. This is probably the lowest that I've been in of years, right? At least since I've entered the content creator program. And I do feel like you're right. Like it's just been go, and you're getting a lot, thrown at you. I guess this would be a better question for Ken to answer since he is, free to play, even though he buys masteries. I don't know what kind of free to play player that is. But do you feel like it's just been a continuous just drain on your resources, just go on everything?
Oh yeah, it is like especially during this event period, coalition event, like there is lots of things they release at the same time. Like they release the event dungeon, they release the fusion, like they release this milestone stuff like that. Bro, like I feel like every single day there is a tournament started. Like there is a Gear Ascension tournament starting, Sun Devil tournament starting, another event dungeon tournament starting, and during this time we also doing the fusions, so we need like Far Knight or Dragon or whatever. I mean, it's a good thing. Like reward is kind of good. We are getting like lots of immortal, not immortal. That's immortal soulstone. My bad.
Mm-hmm.
Getting them, it's not easy, but still. And especially during this event period, like if you push a little bit harder on the like dungeon diver, I don't know, like champion training, summon event, you can also get some fragment for the relics, which is lots of people are doing that. I'm personally not doing that. I did a little bit on the cat case. During the cat case, I craft 0 cat case. So, but yeah, I feel like some of them a little bit easier compared to the cat case rotation.
But being free to play, do you worry? Are you worried if it keeps at the same pace that it's going right now? If nothing changed, Do you think you're going to run out?
No, I feel like I'm going to continue like that, man. I feel like especially after the
Yeah, but I'm
MTG.
saying, like, do you think that you're going to run out of resources?
I mean, I'm not
even playing as smart as you are right now. Like, are you worried that if it continues at this same pace, that eventually it's going to catch up where you can't complete a fusion?
Look, I'm not maxing every single tournament or event. If I do that, yes, I will be definitely out of the resources. For example, fusion as well. I decide to skip the fusion too. Like, if the fusion is not going to help me, I'm not like copying. Like, maybe in the next 10 year, I can use it on this content that they didn't even figure out like what is it. I'm skipping the fusion. Like, I'm looking at the tournament stuff like that. If the reward is not that good or not worth that much resources, I'm also skipping that. Like, I'm not maxing everything. Like the previous champion training, I got super upset. It was like what, 16,000 points for the one mythical book? It's supposed to be like 12,000. We see that like 12,000 before. I'm like, can I get extra 4,000 to get this mythical book? I can, but I decided to skip it, man. I'm like,
No.
I can get it, by the way. It's not going to hurt me, but if I keep doing that, it's eventually going to hurt me. So,
well, I think it feels like it's just been a constant, just continue doing something. And I think it was Majin in like my chat, he was talking about, it kind of feels like the fusion's over. I'm glad that they didn't do the soul for Titus, because I can just sit there and kind of play the game and, kind of just go some of these events. And you were right. Like, we saw a lot of the events that came in with the Immortal Soul Stones, which again leads me off to say that, Packmaster is going to be hidden behind Soul Stones. So be prepared with that. But yeah, I feel like it definitely was a continue, go. And I don't know. Like, I got to the point where I was just like, nah, I may do the event, I may not. Literally, since the Tholen fusion, it's been like that. Like, I'm just like, okay, I'm going to go for the fusion itself. But everything else, like, if I get it, I get it. I don't get it, I don't get it. But I say that, and I've honestly
FOMO.
used, well, not the FOMO, not the FOMO, but I've used a lot more resources because I've kind of had that, yeah, I don't need to save. I'll just go for it. And if I get it type of situation. Yeah, exactly. King, what are your thoughts on it, man?
What was the original question? Because my
do you think that it's just been too much that they've just been throwing at us with this?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so back in my day, right, the last fusion that I did before I quit was G-Nut, which super lucky, but you could do a fusion uphill one way, and then on the way back, you had a week to chill out. Like, you could gain resources. You could run clan boss. You would get sacreds. You could hold them. There wouldn't be a 2 times event every single weekend. There wasn't 10 times, 15, like all this stuff. Like, there's not, there's more stuff in the game. And I realize that, but there is always something happening now. And I was not prepared for that when I came back. And now, like, having fresh eyes on it, right? So you guys have been playing the game consistently. So the ramp up for you, you're noticing it, but you're not. I mean, it's not nearly as extreme for you guys as it was for me. Coming back and being like, this is the way the game is. And I'm going to come back and I'll just get back into the swing of things. And it's like, crash course, man. Like, you got to go. And I mean, I had to like sit down and really ask myself, one, am I really trying to get back into this game if it's like this? Obviously, the answer is yes, but I just think, yeah, I mean, it's nonstop. It is nonstop, unrelenting. And you have to be able to tell yourself, what does my account need, and what do I want? And if you don't need something, and you want it, that's fine. Go for it, right? It's your account. Play the game you want to. But if fusions are the most important thing to you, then you need to lose out in some other areas. Like, I just don't think, unless you're willing to swipe, or you're not just conservative, and playing 24/7, there's no way that you can sustain going max reward in every single area of this game anymore. It's just not possible.
Okay. PJ, what about you?
Yeah, I've noticed definitely more events and more of, like you guys said, things in between the fusions. I'm not sure if they've reduced the time in between the fusions. I think they just filled up the space with more things for us to do. But I'm on the boat where I rather have too much to do than too little to do. I like that there's a lot to do. And you can kind of pick and choose what you want. Some of the events are good, some of them are not very good, depending on what you need. I've been liking the Immortal Soul Stones they've been doing. That's probably been this past year. They've been kind of really bumping up the Immortals and rewards, which is nice. So yeah, I mean, I remember a few years ago that there was a lot less to do, and people complain that there's nothing to do in the game. So I'd rather have too much than too little and be more picky on what I want to do.
I hear that, but I guess my only thing with that's going to be is there is so much stuff in there to do, but we don't have an increase in what we're getting to play it with, right? So we don't have an energy cap refill that we're getting. We don't get, I mean, we've gotten a slight tweak to our energy. But
we get
not
Curse
enough.
City, which has energy in it. We get LA, which has arena energy in it. So they're giving us other areas that give us energy now too.
Right, but again, you gotta it's not. You gotta waste the resources to gain that energy to go and do something else, which I feel like maybe is not. It definitely feels counterintuitive because we're not able to, make or help have ourselves save more of the resources for things that we should be going for.
You mean you don't like being forced to use 120 energies to run Iron Twins to get that 50 energy back?
No. Although I will say with something like that though, like at least they're giving you the energy to get back to do a different event, right?
And it's not bad if you don't
too,
screw
'cause
yourself early.
It's its own
right.
It's its own currency in Curse City, so that's actually more value in terms of going for the energy stages in there.
Right. Gessel, what about you?
Well, I have to say it's been pretty nice having this kind of last week or so of not having a whole lot to do. Yeah, because been pretty busy. The no Titan event was a bit of a surprise, but I was a welcome surprise. It's just been another 2 weeks of grinding everything, so I'm glad we didn't do that. And the previous two fusions, I had skipped. So, it didn't really pick up until the start of the event for me. But it was pretty chaotic there for about 4 weeks straight. That's just the nature of this game. I don't necessarily. I honestly, I like the grind. That's why I like this game. I'm a weirdo. Whatever. I like grinding. So it gives me whatever it is that little hit of dopamine every day to be able to finish this thing or that thing. So I guess it doesn't necessarily bother me. What does bother me or gives me even maybe a little bit of anxiety is when I don't finish it or something like that. So when there isn't that push for or something, you don't have that kind of, I guess, added anxiety.
Right.
So it gives you that little kind of all right, it is just a game, obviously, just a game, but it still brings it on there. You don't want to miss out. You don't, the FOMO. You don't want to miss out on the champ or the soul or whatever the heck it is. So
Right.
Yeah,
but
that was what I was gonna say. Go ahead,
Yeah.
guess I didn't mean to catch you
yeah,
up.
just to finish it off. This game suits me very well. I know it's a gotcha. I know all the negative stuff that comes with it. Uh, you know, I, most of us are adults. Some of us aren't, but most of us are adults. You just gotta be smart with it on that side of it. Know what type of game it is, and don't let yourself get trapped or over overdrawn or whatever the heck it is to try and compete in a game. Like, it's not worth it. But what is fun about it is that it's a game that if you keep working on for months, years, 5 years, like, you really have something to show for it, and you can do a lot with it. And it's fun, and it's not. It does take time, but it doesn't have to take that much time. Like, it really doesn't have to. So that's just the game. That's the nature of the game.
Okay. Zero, what did you have to say?
Yeah, so I mean, I think I was just gonna kind of say what he was saying. Like, I agree with what both PJ and Gessel are saying. It is nice to have things to do in the game, but I think when they overlay that FOMO portion of it, I think that's the part for me. That's the relief. It's like, oh, I can actually take a break and not actually stress out about not doing this whatever event for this thing. Is kind of my piece. And yeah, it's tough. I had another point, but I'm going to pull a Kinkopium. I forgot. Stay tuned.
Okay.
As he said.
But I remembered.
Okay.
But I didn't want to bring it back up.
Getting old sucks. But what was it that you remembered?
Oh, I said, dude, everybody was pissed about new players getting the Thol infusion. Wait until they do a Packmaster code and you get Shayak and the dog.
Oh, man. Oh, man. You have to do that.
Probably will happen.
It probably will. It probably will. And if it will,
it's not horrible, honestly, to me. If it's gonna keep new players around, I don't think it's that bad, frankly.
Yeah.
I just think just a little tinfoil hat engaged there.
No, I like it. It's funny.
Well, when it does happen, we know who to blame and go after.
I will say, for a new player code, that combo would be killer. Assuming nothing is nerfed.
Oh yeah, it'd be crazy.
First ever 2-for-1 code too. That'd be crazy.
So we've definitely discussed a lot of things today. I think for the fusion, to wrap up, I would say definitely go for it if you have the resources. Be prepared to drain a lot of your resources if you're going to go for Sayak. It's going to be a tough one. Coalition event, Plarium, we like it. Keep it like that for the next one. Be a little more transparent. That said, Ken, where can people come and find you?
Final Kenpachi, both YouTube and the Twitch. We are streaming every day at the Columbus Reset. Thank you.
Awesome. PJ, where can people come and find you?
MXPJE on Twitch and YouTube. Streaming on Twitch pretty much every single weekday, 2 times a day, as much as possible.
Awesome. Zero, where can people come and find you?
Hit me up on the Twitches and the YouTubes is Sunday, Tuesday, and Friday evening, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Awesome. Gessel, where can people come and find you?
Gessel Gaming, Twitch and YouTubes. I'm on Sunday through Friday, 2 o'clock to 7 o'clock Pacific.
Awesome. And I'm going to keep doing this until he changes his name. But Copium King, what about you? Where can people come and find you?
You can find me on live streaming on twitch.tv/King Copium. Sorry, twitch.tv/King Copium. Blazer,
you're missing
him
there.
It's working.
I'll be live here in about 10 minutes after we do this. But
awesome. Then why don't you give me your shout out and then log off so we can raid you?
I need a little bit before I go live.
Oh, okay. All right. Then in that case, give me your shout out anyways.
My shout out's going to be going to a couple people. They're not streaming currently, but I'm going to give it to Armenian God and that kid Peyton. They come into my stream and help me out quite a bit with a lot of things that I don't quite have a firm grasp on yet, and as well as everybody else that comes in and hang out. Just shout out to the Copium Den community overall. I mean, it's just been an amazing growth since I started streaming, and I'm thankful for every single person that comes in and helps me out and just hangs out.
Awesome. Ken, what you got for a shout out for me, bro?
I have a brand new streamer friend to shout out, guys. Fiap Jax. He's also our clan mate. He started streaming recently, playing the raid, and I'm gonna leave his link over there. If you guys follow him, that could be help a lot. Thank you.
Awesome. Zero, what you got for a shout out for me, bro?
I'm gonna hit up our boy Soulsane, who was in here earlier tonight, but definitely got to do a collab with Ash, and that was one of the better collabs I've seen in a long time. when you first meet someone, there's that little bit of okay, and you kind of talk over it. Like it was like the most perfect synergy. Like they've been doing 100 collabs together. So Soul Saint's the man. He streams on Twitch and also has a YouTube channel. So make sure you click that link, give some love. You're not, and I've been following him for a while. I probably started when the raid, but I remember watching Soul Saint playing Smite, right? So Gestel plays Smite and stuff. So I've known him for a long time. We used to play some games together around Halloween. We need to get back to Dead by Daylight. What's up with PJ and Gestel on the crew? Come on.
PJ, what you got for a shout out for me, bro?
I'm gonna give in a shout out to Blaze Draconis. He does not play Raid. Well, he not anymore. He actually was the person that got me into playing Raid through a sponsorship. He was one that was like, "Yo, you want to do this with me?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" He was lucky. He got out. He left after the sponsorship, and I'm here 4 years later. So, shout out to him. He plays Marvel Rivals. He plays Boulder Gates. He plays Final Fantasy. He plays big variety. Awesome dude. So shout out to Blaze.
You really want to give him a shout out though after 4 years of being in an abusive relationship like this?
I know he got out. He was smart. Oh, also funny story. So when we quickly, sorry. The first epics we pulled, he got a Geomancer. I got a Fodbor. We don't know anything about the game. Geo's obviously amazing. So he's just flying through content. He's like, "Yo, have you run Spider? It's so easy." And I try Spider, getting like destroyed. I'm like, "Bro, what are you talking about? Like this is." And then kind of find out, yeah, Geo is like a beast, but yeah, we had no idea, and he's just flying through everything. And I was like, "Bro, what is happening right now?"
Gestel, what you got for a shout out for me, bro?
Well, I recently joined. I had been in the same clan for pretty much since I started the game, and our clan recently joined the CHQ cluster, and then I moved up to the big boy CHQ clan with Handy, Scorpion Fish leading the way, and my boy. A lot of people don't know you, Nas Gaming, who's always out there. Awesome dude. I've been over there with them. Shout out to them as always. Great guys, love them. Huge supporters of the channel and of the community. But a fellow CHQer has recently started streaming. My man Tony Brain. Go over there, give him a follow. Links in the chat. Give him a follow. Awesome dude.
Be Val.
Awesome.
Yeah, Val's awesome.
Yeah, both of them. I don't know if they do it together. I'm not sure how it works, but or if there's one name and another name. But
I've seen some of those where it's two people streaming at the same time together. I don't know if that's the
I'm not sure how it works.
Yeah,
I've just seen Valve do it.
Yeah.
My shout out's gonna go to NSD Undead One, and we're actually gonna give him a raid when we're done here. Love the guy. Great knowledge, has a lot of fun on stream. So big shout out to him. Make sure you guys give him a follow when we raid him over on Twitch, and make sure you guys wish him a happy birthday, as you know, that's going to be the thing going forward from now on. Whenever we raid a channel, we're going to wish them a happy birthday. That's it, guys. I am so happy that everybody joined us today. We will be back next week for the 100th episode. We got a lot of things to talk about then. We got to unveil some things here for you guys. So I'm excited. Hopefully everybody will catch you back next week. As always, much love, much appreciation. Be safe, be well, be good to each other. We'll catch you guys next time.